foundation is strong because Jehovah built it. You can feel the spirit and positive energy. Questions asked comfortably like you're talking with family. Get ready to settle in. Wait for the show to begin. Invite a couple of friends. It's time for Unhinged.
What's really going on?
I introduce to you Get You Home Towing, a family company with the sole purpose to get you home. Whether you need roadside assistance or transport services, we have a flatbed big enough to transport any vehicle to its destination. Our offer to you is our gratitude and great service at a much cheaper price. We are also open to transport through long distances. If you need us, all you have to do is call that number. I'll see you soon.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Y'all all right? I mean, what's really going on? Thank you so much for tuning in. You've tuned in to Unhinged Live. I'm your host, Nikita Tilted Halo Hansford, and I'm sitting alongside two of my very good friends. But first, let me talk about my very good friend, Karen Sims Harrell, Coach Cash herself of Twisted Threads LLC. And we've got a special featured guest with us on tonight, our brother from the CHH Jams, Mental Impact Entertainment family. Our brother Orlando Page is in the building, and he don't know it yet, but we got some great things in store for him on this evening. He know a little bit, but we know a lot. Let me move the needle forward. Thank you to each and every one of you who are tuning in. You know we do what we do for every last one of you, and we appreciate every single like, every single share. And of course, I want to go ahead and take this opportunity to say welcome and thank you for joining us. To each one of our replay viewers, thank you. And I hope whatever you hear tonight, boom, hit you upside your head like a whole joy tsunami, because that is what we endeavor to be, to provide a space 90 minutes a week for y'all to just relax, relate, release, and think about the goodness of God and get your chuckle on as we talk about some things that's really going on around us in the world today. Of course, we're going to get into it. I'm going to share a couple views from the petty pew because, you know, Karen Sims and I were talking earlier. Pettiness was flowing. I figured, hey, let's bring this conversation to the platform. Of course, OP is going to bless us with something I requested. A sports talk segment, because, you know, we likes to wear the jerseys to represent the teams. We got all the colors, but we don't necessarily know what's really going on in the world of the sports universe as females, or at least me. I'm honest. I'm not a diehard sports fan. So I figured OP could enlighten us on this evening. Of course, we're going to get into a super fan shout out, enjoy a musical break, and then start the conversation in that roundtable conversation that you all have come to expect, know, and love. What's really going on? So look, we at the top of the show, and I got to check in with my people. So you know what it is. Ooh, ladies first. Ladies first. Hey, I got a shout out. That's my sister. Hey, girl, how you doing?
You know, I'm doing well. I know we're going to talk a little bit about it, but been getting these steps in and working it out on all of the pavement, the sand, the street, the sidewalk. Yes, and even in the living room. So doing pretty good. Yeah. It's Tuesday and the sun is shining. Appreciate that.
Well, okay. It's partly cloudy up here in this part of Jersey where I dwell, but let me go ahead and ask our featured guest on this evening, Orlando Page, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I cannot complain whatsoever. I missed one day of doing my goal. Like Karen said, we'll talk about it. But you know, I missed one day, but since that one day, it's been on like popcorn. You know, it's been moving. But I'm doing well. Thank you.
All right. I'm glad to hear that you are doing well on this beautiful Tuesday evening. And again, thank you to each and every one of you who tuned in on tonight. We are going to have a great conversation. So, Orlando, did you know that you finna be on the hot seat on this evening?
No, I didn't know that.
I don't think you really recognize. I don't think we really got a chance to absolutely interview you, period, by yourself, to dig into the recesses of your mind to find out what motivates the creative genius that is Orlando Page of Let's Talk Gospel. So prepare yourself as I pivot, okay? Because you know how I do, all right? Before we get into asking you about you, yourself, and you, I want to go ahead and get into. I see he ready. You see he got on his fresh hat and everything.
I see. Fresh shirt too. I know. He on it.
I want to go ahead and get into tonight's. What was that?
I had to dress for the occasion.
We appreciate you.
Yeah, don't come over here looking any old kind of way, because we'll talk about you to your face. We sure enough will.
Woo.
Family.
So I want to go ahead and get into tonight's super fan shout out. So OP, I'm gonna give Coach Cash a break tonight on the sound effects. Do you got a drum roll over there or something?
I do not have a drum roll. Sorry.
See, I'm trying to give you the opportunity to truly baptize yourself into the Tilted Halo tribe. You know, one of our sub mottos on these streets is we stay ready, so we ain't got to get ready. So now I got to talk back to my sister.
I'm
Can
ready.
I get a drum roll, please? All right. Citizens, gentlemen, women, children, friends, lend me your ear. Tonight's super fan shout out goes to none other than our very own Let's Talk Gospel brethren. In his absence, tonight's shout out goes out to you, Birdie, Bertrand Birdie McKinney. You know you got some hand claps open. That's right. We have got to go ahead and acknowledge you, Birdie, in your absence on tonight. I know you are 9 times out of 10 on some random highway or byway, making your way from point A to point B. And hopefully this evening, if you're not blessed, booked, and busy, you're on the way home to your beautiful wife. And how can I help you, OP?
I hereby have to let y'all know Birdie's new name is Bertrand Barry Manilow McKinney. So it's no longer Birdie, it's Barry Manilow McKinney. So there you go. All right. That's it.
But so are you trying to tell me that?
Yeah, I'm feeling some.
No. Is he at the Copacabana? Is that where he
is? Oh, come on. Oh,
we Millie rocking to the Copa. Millie rocking to the Copa.
I was gonna try to stand in for Birdie and see if I needed to defend him, but bruh, sound like it's official.
It's official. I'm still gonna acknowledge him in the middle of my super fan shout out as Birdie, because that's what his mama named him, and that's what they call him for short. So I'm gonna call him Birdie on this evening. Brother Birdie, I just want to let you know that I am absolutely thoroughly impressed by your walk with your walk with your family, your walk as a man of God. I'm absolutely grateful for how you rest in your authentic self and show up 1000% every single place you go. You got bars upon bars. you're walking and living in blessing upon blessing. And I just want to take this opportunity to celebrate you over here amongst your Unhinged Live family. I want to go ahead and encourage you to continue to do what you're doing, brother. And if you think you've been celebrated to this point, baby, to quote the maestro himself, Brother Donald Lawrence, you ain't seen nothing yet. So get ready for the abundance and the overflow that you are going to be overtaken with for the last part of this year. Go on and clap it up for our brother Birdie.
Yes.
So, OP, I did warn you and express that we were going to put you on the hot seat on tonight, because we really never got a chance to dig into what it is that made you begin your journey into the microphone sound, and especially what catapulted you into the heartbeat of the CHH world. So I'm going to go ahead and ask you one question. And Karen, I'm going to stop talking after that. You got it, sis. So, Orlando, if you wouldn't mind reintroducing yourself to our audience. Tell us who you are. You married? You got some kids? You got a cat, dog, goldfish? Tell us a little bit about you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, how are y'all doing? This is Orlando Page of Let's Talk Gospel, CEO of CHH Jams, CEO of Mental Impact Radio, CEO of Jam Session, CEO. No, I'm joking. No children. No, well, do I have any children? No, no children. No wife. No wife. I'm just solo dolo doing my thing, praising the Lord. And when your parents, when your mom or your dad or anybody in your family used to say, if you're looking for a good woman, you need to go to church. And then, you might find you a good woman. That's what I thought about when I started, the radio station. If I start this, I might find me a good one. No, I'm joking. But but no, that's for real. But what made me start up? I thought at the time that there was a lack of support for indie artists, and that was my number one thing. I've always been involved with music. I've always been involved with indie artists and their strive for music. I've never been one who really dealt with a lot of the secular cursing in music, things of that nature. Even the group that I used to manage was more so of a conscious type of group, and even by their name, the Soul Survivors. So it's always been instilled in me to go that direction, go that route. Once I started really getting into the shows that I was building, and then the networks I was building, I wanted like-minded individuals to be around me and to be able to do the same thing to push out the artists and their talent and the message that their ministries was holding, as far as the message of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. So that's the number one message that we're trying to purvey for to everybody, to let everybody know that miracles are still happening. God is still real. God is still here. Look at the different people that come on the show from year to year, day to day, on your show, our show, a lot of different shows, and they share their testimony and let folks know how God saved them. Like just a couple of days ago, we had a young man on the show by the name of Brent, that he was addicted to IV heroin for 13 years. But look at him now. God saved him. God revamped him. God changed his life. And now he's working for the kingdom and doing what he needs to do. And him and his wife are expecting a baby. So it's just beautiful situations like that.
All right, I'm jumping in here. Sister Angela, so wonderful to see you in the comment streets. We appreciate you being here. Listen, Angela, Sister Angela, one of my challenges, our brother knows how to redirect. He might have been a choir director sometime, maybe in his earlier years, because he gonna show enough switch the question that was about him and start talking. We celebrating everybody over here, but I'm keeping us on track while we get into your business, brother. Sister Angela, I know you got me on this one, so we gonna dig into some more. So when we think about the OP testimony, and I know Tilted asked a little bit about your motivation for your work, but I want to talk a little bit about the lettuce wrap eating 10,000 step challenge. Yes, ma'am.
Can we
Yes,
talk about the piles of zucchini noodles? Add
and
that.
we getting there. We getting there.
Okay, thank you.
And the zucchini noodle spiraling and chomping on OP, brother. That's right. We getting more into the OP of it all. So it could be some ministry moments in there because everything is ministry. But what has been that OP moment for you that kind of said, I need to work on my lifetime finance? Because that's how I translate that pile of zucchini noodles. You're working on your lifetime finance. What kind of motivated you to take some time to work on your lifetime finance?
Am I supposed to be honest here, or can I just be like,
Please,
Just
can I
don't curse.
I can't be like Trump?
Just don't curse. Don't. We're not trying to
our
get
Michael
yelled.
Gibbons voice. Don't.
He got on that
No,
hat.
but for real though, the number one reason for me to start really getting serious, because I've been on this journey off and on, off and on, off and on. But for me to really start getting serious about what I was doing and what I was putting into my body is because I got excuse me, I got tired of being in pain. I was diagnosed with gout almost, I say 30, maybe 25, 30 years ago. I was diagnosed with gout, and I didn't know what gout was at the time, because I was sitting there like, what? What are you talking about? Because all of a sudden, usually gout would hit the person's big toe, the joint in the big toe, and it would swell up. But the gout didn't hit my big toe. The gout hit my left knee, and my left knee started swelling up double its size. So I was wondering what in the world was going on. I had no clue on what was going on. I went to the doctor, and the doctor was like, well, let's get some samples, things of that nature. And once we get that, we'll go ahead and draw it. And I was like, "What do you mean? You got some paper and a pen? You're gonna draw my knee?" He was like, "Oh no, that's funny, but no, we have a needle. We're gonna go ahead and stick it in there, and we're gonna draw the fluid out." I was like, "Yeah, okay." So that was my very first time of maybe 10 times of having that done to my left knee. But he told me that, he was like, "Well, you have gout." I was like, "Well, what is gout? Am I gonna die? I mean, what's going on?" He was like, "No, you're not gonna die." And he said it's a severe form of arthritis, and it comes from rich foods like seafood, drinking alcohol, beer, things of that nature, and it inflames into the joints, any joint, as we can tell because of my left knee. Um, so that was the stepping stone, and that's why I said I went from years of off on, because my thing was I was a heavy. I'm from Maryland now, so I was a heavy shrimp eater. Crabs, shrimp. Come on, man! I go get a bushel of shrimp and sit there and tear them things up all by myself. It wasn't even a problem. You know what I'm saying? So that probably led to a lot of the gout, because I'm not a beer drinker. I've never really been an alcohol drinker. I mean, I was at one point, but that was just because of the friends that I was hanging around and trying to be cool, I guess, or whatever, and hang out with them. But I'm not really an alcohol drinker, so I never worried about that. My only vice was seafood. I couldn't seem to leave the seafood alone, and that's why. And eventually, I started really doing the research and looking it up online to find out, okay, what can I eat? What am I not supposed to eat? Things of that nature. And I turned around and I was like, dude, I can't eat nothing. It's like, are you kidding me? Beef, pork. I had left pork alone anyway, but beef, pork, seafood. I mean, can't drink, like I said, but there's a lot of vegetables that will raise your uric acid level. And that's the thing. It raises your uric acid level within your body and it starts crystallizing in your joints. Henceforth, it starts to swell, and that's where the gout attack comes in at. So, to answer your question, changing of my life had to start with changing of my body and my eating habits and start really getting serious. And I started really getting serious also because I have my own cleaning business. So I was like, if I plan on doing this for the next maybe 3, 4 years tops, I have to get myself healthy enough to do that and to keep moving forward to do that. And pardon me, and also to be able to take the radio stations and the TV shows and the TV shows, radio stations and the and the shows where they need to go and what we need to do next with them. I have to be physically fit to be able to do that. I can't be going to New Jersey. I can't be going to New Jersey to try to do a show and then all of a sudden have a gout attack and I gotta be laying up on somebody's couch for about 3 or 4 weeks until that thing come down. So yeah.
I'm sorry. I appreciate you so much, brother.
Coming up here looking like clumps. We can't have you doing that. But you said something that you discovered some information as you were doing your research about certain vegetables that can, activate the gout. Can you share what some of those vegetables are?
I know one vegetable for me that I looked up was spinach. Spinach, I can have spinach, but I can't have an overabundance of spinach because it will raise my uric acid level. Broccoli is one that I can't have a lot of it because it will raise my uric acid level. And it's strange, like certain, excuse me. I know you asked me about vegetables, but certain seafoods I can eat and nothing to happen. But certain ones I eat like scallops or something like that, it'll hit me right off. So but yeah, spinach and broccoli and I believe cauliflower. I'm not supposed to have too much of that as well. So yeah.
Thank you. That's good stuff.
Interesting that you mentioned that and I don't share often, but we have gone through a little bit of a health change over here, highlighting that June is Men's Health Month. And so if not the rest of the year, we sure enough should be taking the opportunity to think about men's health this month because it's the national month for it. But my husband had some challenges with kidney stones, and that was one of the things that came out of, because I'm just like, well, you need to eat all your fruits and vegetables. And they were like, hold up, loving wife, certain things he can't eat. So get out the kitchen and let's learn about how our bodies kind of digest foods, what our individual bodies does with the spinach is on his list. Not that he eat that many vegetables, no way. So it was like, well, y'all gotta leave something on the list. But it also, there you go, that part. Now, what does that say? Foods that harm and foods that
harm and foods that heal.
Literally. Come on now. Because when we talking about this lifetime Fine-ness, a lot of and we talk about it a lot. What's that one? I can't see. Living a healthy life with chronic conditions. Listen, we all got something, some type of dictionary. I bet go ahead and spend your $15, $20 and give yourself some health, because not only are we talking about lifetime fineness over here, but we are also talking about a different kind of generational wealth, being there for one another. Our brother Bertie is like, listen, you need to be fit because you got a little brother that might try his big brother one day. Oh, well, it's early learning for many of us because as we're thinking about not just men's health, but how what we eat can heal us. So many of the chronic conditions, you got two choices: drag along a bag of different type of drugs, or figure out how can you supplement what you eat, how you eat, what is in your diet, how much water you drink, what kind of water you drink, do you eat alkaline foods. These are all different things. And I always tease because many of us we begged and pleaded to get to the adults table, and now we at the adults table, and this is stuff we talking about over here. Like, listen, pain in my knee. What they give you for that? Oh, they gave me 10 milligrams. Oh, no, that ain't gonna work for me. I need something else. I think mine gonna have to give me 20. Well, we want to be thinking about how we can utilize the food, that the real food. I know I still got question about the fake food and how we can know what's what, but that's a whole nother story. So I love you shared that with us and your motivation for it. So I want to chug us along just a little bit to ask the question, because you got us all out here, as I mentioned, in these streets, supporting the Mental Impact Radio and Let's Talk Gospel, CHA, all of the family. We out here getting our 10,000 steps a day. And I want to talk about what motivated that, just a thought for that challenge. I know a little bit of the insight where we was like, oh yeah, we're going to do this. But what kind of prompted to say, now we're going to get some physical activity into the process for your lifetime fineness?
The main thing is not only do I suffer with gout, but I also suffer with rheumatoid arthritis. So I have rheumatoid arthritis all in my back. So the best thing for me a lot of times is to make sure that I'm out walking and getting a good walk in and everything, because that helps out with with back pain and also with arthritis, things of that nature, to keep your joints fluid and keep your body moving. I sat back and I watched a lot of YouTube videos of a lot of different nutritionists, not just one person, and say, "Oh, he's the gospel." No, I watch about 3 or 4 or 5 different people to see what they're saying about a certain situation, about walking, things of that nature, back pain, arthritis pain, and a lot of them are actually speaking on the same thing. The more that you walk, the more that you're going, it strengthens your bones and it keeps the fluid and everything flowing in your bones. It's heart healthy, is helping everything day by day to get that cardio in, to get your body moving. And that's something that I've never been scared to do anyway. So walking is a little bit better for me to do because I have a replacement right hip, which my right hip was shattered about 4 years ago, so I had to get my right hip totally replaced. And then I have really no cartilage in my left knee. So so with that being said and things of that nature, that was the main thing about walking. And then also doing the 10,000 steps, I was like, man, who else needs to be motivated? There's somebody out there that watches us all the time. And if we're doing something for 30 days straight, they're going to see that we're out here being consistent, regardless if we hit that 10,000 mark or not. Still share your numbers and let folks know that, hey, I was still consistent today to do what I needed to do. You can be consistent on what you need to do. It doesn't matter if you're 500 pounds. You can be consistent on starting. That's the
Mhm.
number one thing. How are you starting? How are you taking that first step? You have to start from somewhere. I remember when I first started to try to get myself mentally and physically back. is when I was homeless and I was living in a motel room. I couldn't even hardly walk up the street from the hotel that I was staying in, without my back killing me. I mean, I couldn't walk halfway up the street and my back would be hurting so bad. I wanted to call somebody and be like, "Hey, come and pick me up and take me 10 feet back to my room." Because I was hurting that bad because I've gotten that much out of shape. And then also my mental wasn't all together as well. So so it was just a trial and error from then on. Had to work it. Now I can walk 3 miles without stopping, without my back hurting or anything of that nature. But I do feel the difference if I do not walk or do something. So that's the number one thing. You have to stay consistent on what you're doing. It's gonna work in the long run. And if walking starts to be boring for you and you're one of those people that can go run then, do your thing. But walking is gonna be my thing for a while.
There's
Love it.
nothing wrong with a nice long walk. And thank you for sharing that graphic. For those of you, you just heard from the heart of the visionary himself. You see us being holding each other accountable in this thing. We sit here as a group of bosses. We some whole leaders out here. And what other way to lead the masses but by example? So I want to go ahead and reiterate what OP just shared. Just be consistent. You ain't got to hit 10,000 every day, but get up, get out, move something. Okay, kid? Get up, get out, move something. And I promise you, you will feel better. While I'm in this vein, I want to go ahead and say thank you, OP, because you done started a whole movement. I got people showing up and being supportive of what we're doing that I ain't seen pop up in our timeline in a long time. Shout out to one of our mentoring brothers and friends, Brother Roy Schuler, actor, voiceover model extraordinaire, the one who reaches out to us individually occasionally to encourage us to just continue to keep glowing and growing. Roy, your support to this platform has meant every single thing since day one. And I want to go ahead and shout out those of you who've joined with this challenge with us, and we don't know you doing it because you may be a little bit more private than we are, and you may not want to share that you're out here doing this with us. I want to go ahead and encourage you to go ahead and keep doing what you are doing. Keep it moving so you can be mobile for as much as your life as possible. I know y'all see I got this tan, right? I've been walking out in the sun. That's right. Jill Scott said, let's take a long walk. I've had the awesome privilege of being able to switch places where I'm walking. So you don't never know where I'm going to show up with my walking shoes. Look, finding some place where I got some inclines because we need to build some muscle while we out there walking. So yeah, we're gonna keep it moving. For those of you who don't have a consistent schedule like me, because I had a 15-hour day yesterday, and I still managed to hit my step quota. The deal is, overall, the challenge is 300,000 steps in 30 days. All right. This allows you to give yourself some grace for the days when you just don't meet the Samsung or iPhone mark, whatever device you're using to count your steps. It's 300,000 steps in 30 days. I know that I'm using my beautiful above all Apple Samsung phone, and I'm participating in a challenge that tracks me and gives me gifts every day and stars when I get to one goal, and it encourages me and it inspires me what my next star gonna look like when I meet my next goal. So we've invested in all of these devices, and I promise you, a whole lot of people didn't even know that they had a walking tracker on their phone until we started this challenge. Why are we paying $1,200 and $1,400 for devices that we don't know how to use?
Woo, child. I know why they don't come with manuals no more, but that's a whole nother story.
It's all follow the pictures, right? The follow the picture trail,
follow the picture. So I want to chime in quickly, you know, about the benefits of the walking, because it may seem like it's just, all right, I'm going outside and I'm going to and fro, but how many of us don't have too many people walking with us? Let me say that. So shout out to my sister Kimberly. You know, she gets more steps than I even need to, but I was like, we got a challenge now. Let's get at it. And so we're able to be consistent. But many of us, this is time that we're catching up on our audio books. We getting some new jams. We listening to music on CHH jams. We are getting time to release toxic thoughts from our mind while we are either taking in nature. We're hearing from the Lord. We're hearing our scripture and our word. Whatever it is that's your thing, I promise you, it matters for you to walk 10 minutes for 3 times a day. So I do it a couple of days a week that I get up before I start working. Why? Because these days be doing whatever they want to do. But because in the morning, most times we've got command of our day before all of the crazy starts to say, let's take 10 minutes, let's take 15 minutes. So in the morning, I'm only walking for maybe 15 to 20 minutes. And then they already emailing, they're already chatting me before I even get back. But it has helped me with my thinking process, with being able to be focused on what's the next thing at hand. You know, we're able to drink water, we're able to walk a little bit more. Hopefully stuff don't hurt like it did at the beginning of the month. But we're 11 days in this. And so shout out to me and my sister that as we were having our pre-production meeting, we were getting our steps in because we wasn't really sure what the rest of the night was gonna have. And so it really is about intentional in taking the time to say, this is going, you know, I got on a pair of walking capris that didn't fit the way they fitting right now a few months ago. That's all I'm gonna say on that. So they fit. So we doing the 2-step all the way up and down. Wherever you're doing it, just motivate yourself. Why? Because you deserve to take a few minutes to unwind, recalibrate, refocus, whatever the thing is for you. But you're also having the ability to take charge of your day. And y'all know we are here for it. So I'm appreciative of the initiative that started out as, you know, a good thought with our brother OP, but just see how much it inspires so many other folks as we share those good thoughts. So, you know, want to give credit where credit is due, but also I'm enjoying it. So we're going to keep it going. It gets hot down here in North Carolina sometimes. So them early mornings, that's when it's going to happen. So if I need to get up earlier so that I don't mind the tan, but sometimes, you know, when I start sweating, it's a whole nother story. Like, wait a minute.
Where did my eyebrows go?
Ooh, that is not my testimony. However, that is a testimony of people I know. So, I ain't naming no names of people who eyebrow be like, oh, okay.
Mine might try to escape me, but I praise God that I have access to waterproof and sweatproof makeup options so that my eyes can remain properly framed. Because I'm team little eye out here in these streets, and we need all the lifts as possible to help y'all believe that my eyes really are open all the time. All right, so thank y'all so much for tuning in, and thank you so much OP for, you know, taking your spot on the hot seat tonight. You've always been very encouraging and supportive, not just to us, but to everyone that you come in contact with. Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate you. I want to go ahead and acknowledge some of the folks I see out in the comment streets. Of course, we see Tribe Originator, OG herself, Natural D. That's right. Who is 1/3 part of TH3?
Yeah.
One of the shows produced here on the platform, because we are three of some of the dopest chicks you will ever meet in Jesus' name. I see our brother Joshua Sandifer in the comment street.
TH
Check it out,
historian.
And as I'm giving shout outs tonight, I just got to take a special pause because let me tell you something. Miss Angela Conley, Miss Angela, great woman of God. I came home to this beautiful package laying on my doorstep, and I smiled because I knew exactly what was in that package. And I want to tell you what happened when I opened the packaging and touched the book and opened the page. It's almost as if I was directly connected to you in spirit. And I began to weep because I recalled your testimony. And I recall my own testimony of having writer's block. And what you don't know is after hearing your testimony that you shared so freely on Let's Talk Gospel, sis, I woke up the next day and was singing a song and was inspired to go ahead and pull out my voice recorder to record the little diddly, the song of the Lord that was spilling from my heart. Sis, you were a huge catalyst for that. So I just want to thank you for gifting me a copy of your beautiful starter journal. I promise you, on every single walk I've taken, especially this past week, and I can't help but when I look up at the clouds, I think of you. Woo. And I think that will never change because, again, your testimony and your story is so inspiring, sis. So thank you for sowing this seed into my life. And whatever it is you see in us here at the platform, I thank you for your prayers. And I thank you for giving us some additional tools that we're definitely going to need as we pen our story of divine sisterhood that was birthed so many years ago that you all now see birthed in the form of Unhinged Live. Again, we love and celebrate you every single day, Miss Angela. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right.
We really, really love you.
Ow. Oh.
We're gonna call you OP Clinton or George Clinton up in the house getting that. Love it.
Yes. Okay, so I gotta switch gears for just a hot shake.
Of course.
Because look, y'all know I'll be out here on these internet streets looking for different conversation starters and icebreakers. And I came up with one that I said, ooh, this gonna be good. So I got to ask y'all, One Has Gotta Go is the name of this game, all right? One has got to go. Is you ready?
We ready.
Let's
get.
Let's get.
What was that?
Let's get.
All right. One has got to go. And depending on your answer on this evening, I might feel like I might need to revoke your black card. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and ask these questions. Yeah, I said it. One's got to go. Which do you choose? And those of you who are out there in the comment street, go ahead and put your answer in the comment section. And I want you to justify why. Okay, when you give me your answer. That's always my thing. I want to know why you don't want to see this show no more. All right. Would you get rid of Good Times, Sanford and Son, What's Happening, or the Jeffersons? One's gotta go, and why? Good Times, Sanford and Son, the Jetsons, excuse me, I keep saying the Jetsons because I think of that ugly car I keep seeing. The Jeffersons. Or what's happening? One's got to go.
I'm going with what's happening.
Oh, you was quick with that, Karen.
Yes, I was. Yes.
Ma'am, that's why, ma'am.
Personal for me, I think out of all of the shows, that one, I would just always get upset with D. Like, whoop mama. Whoop. That's the whole thing. It's like we weren't really seeing brothers, and it's real life. Don't get me wrong. It is real life. Our brothers and sisters don't always, they're not our number one supporters, and they the tattletale. I get all of that, but she just got away with too much stuff, and I wanted mama to whoop her more. But yeah, I mean, it was a good show, decent. Love all the characters, but if I got rid of one, I'm gonna be okay if it's what's happening now.
All right. Okay, OP.
I would say Sanford and Son. I would get rid of Sanford and Son. I actually was gonna say the same thing as Karen, but I was like, I don't want to be the same thing as Karen right
you
now.
You could be the same thing as me, because
Let me change.
Sanford and Son, they used to cuss on that show. Nobody don't remember that. Like, they would say bad words, and it was legal. Like, you could do that back then. Shout out to Paul Mooney, one of the writers for the show.
The only reason why I say that is because Lamont, right, his son, there were too many changing going on, and neither Lamonts to me really could act. So I really didn't enjoy the characters on there. So yeah, they can go for me. Thank you.
That means we're gonna lose Rallo, though. We gonna lose Rallo.
We need Rallo and Aunt Esther. We need Aunt Esther.
I'm just saying.
You frog-eyed, fish-eyed fool. Is that what she used to say?
Oh my goodness. Oh,
I'm rooting for Rallo.
I'm coming to you, Elizabeth. I'm coming.
Okay, Sanford and Son. Okay.
Oh,
Okay, Birdie said what's happening gotta go. Because it was his least favorite of the 4 shows. And Natural D is offering Sanford and Son purely because it's the one she watched the least.
whoop,
All right, so we got 2 and 2 on this evening with which one's gotta go.
Which one? Tilted.
It's a hard choice, man, because I love them all. I really, really did. But if it was for me, I would actually have to say Sanford and Son. Not necessarily because, nobody could act. And yes, I would absolutely miss Rallo and Aunt Esther. But I didn't care for the dynamic between father-son there. While I understood it was a family business and they were growing it together, while Lamont ain't never leave home and get his own place, he never became a fully grown man. Okay, and he stayed single. Did Lamont ever get married?
I don't remember. I mean, he tried a couple of times. It wasn't his fault. That one time, that woman's husband came and he thought that was going to be his possible wife. So I'm just saying,
Yeah, but I'm saying that's probably why he couldn't get no woman, because he was basically living in the house with his daddy in a junkyard.
Junkyard.
Come on. Now, Karen, you know some of my dating tales, okay?
I'm not doing that. No, we not.
No. No, we are not. But I'm just you're referencing them lightly. No woman with any type of value want to live in the junkyard.
First of all, we don't want to go to the junkyard, okay?
wow. Like Fred used to say, there's a lot of gems and gold and stuff in the junkyard. You just gotta know where to look. Turn over a hubcap.
And don't drink no Ripple.
And if I turn over a hubcap and a rat jump up at me, what then? What then?
Hey,
I'm not with the critters.
You have a pet. You have a pet now. Now you got a pet.
I don't know. I think I've watched Sanford and Son the most. So yeah, I don't know. It wasn't.
It wasn't.
In the words of, wait a minute, is it whatever his Fred G. Sanford?
Yeah.
It wasn't a junkyard. It was an empire. So
Yeah, empire of junk. That's what Lamont would say.
that's what Fred G. Sanford would say.
That's a whole conversation. You are
I can accept that. I can accept that. I agree.
She got words. She flowing tonight, y'all. She flowing.
Can you
Because
find
in the
your
lonely
treasure?
place, you can find your treasure. Come on now. Come on, Natural D.
Hey, keep
Come
on
with
turning
this word.
caps. Keep on turning over them hubcaps. You don't know what you're gonna find in that wash machine. Come on.
Well, that's the truth.
It's because the washing machine don't work, don't mean the clothes ain't clean. Come on now. What?
Goodness gracious. That was a good one.
That was a really okay.
The
So
sham pickle. Exactly. Can't get rid
did
of
somebody
the
talking about the sham pickle?
Yes, Birdie. Yes.
Oh, that's too
Lord
funny.
have mercy.
Esther's
Lord
words.
have
Watch
mercy.
it, sucker.
Well, if I don't get rid of Sanford and Son, then I would get rid of the Jeffersons. Then, if y'all like Sham Pickle so much, I get rid of them.
Yeah, we can't get rid of the sham pickle.
Can't get rid of the sham pickle. I don't know. I gotta fight for the Jeffersons. Weezy. I mean, she went from being a maid to having one. Yeah, although Florence ain't do
She
much.
wasn't really a maid.
Florence was her coffee partner or something. I don't know.
Yeah. She was sass mouth. She was
That
sass
part.
mouth.
To that day she saw Billy D. That was my episode when she saw Billy D and she was in her curler. I know Billy D out of anybody. And he said, "Ciao, Bella." And I promise you, her fate, and I believe that was not acting.
That was real.
All the Gibbs was falling out for real in that one. So
that was real. So look, I'm gonna flip this and put it in reverse, as Prophetess Missy Elliott would say. We're gonna flip this and put it in reverse. Now, which one do you want to bring back?
Who we doing what with?
Which one of these would you bring back? Only one can come back.
No.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Blockbuster Video.
Okay.
Circuit City.
Mm.
Sam Goody.
Ooh.
Or Toys R Us. Only one can come back. Which one?
Toys R Us. I'm going with Toys R Us.
Why, Karen? Why?
Because I ain't care nothing much about Blockbuster. Circuit City, that's a close one. Toys R Us, because I just don't feel like these parents know how to purchase toys for the right reason. Like, we so electronic now, and I think Toys R Us at least gave us that hope to buy something and send their tail outside. Like, parents just don't send their kids outside like they used to. So that I'm going with Toys R Us. These parents is not, they don't know. They just don't know. Plus, we need a Toys R Us book. Can I just
catalog, right?
The catalog. Can we just
with all of our hopes and dreams throughout our childhood?
Listen, okay. I still got some stuff circled that I'm waiting for them to come back so I could go get. That's all I got to say.
Did you ever do the hop along on that little round thing through the store while you was in there browsing?
I don't know if we were supposed to do that, but I think the statute of limitations is up. So yeah, that was me.
Okay, that was me too.
That was me.
All right. OP, which one you bringing back?
I don't know. At first, I was going to say Blockbuster, but what would they sell now? I mean, because nobody's really tripping off of no tapes and DVDs and stuff. So nah, not really. I ain't working with that. I don't have children, so I'm really not concerned with Toys R Us. So I guess Circuit City, because Circuit City actually had a program whereas you can be an affiliate on their online department, and actually make money from them, kind of like how Amazon is doing now. So yeah, I would bring them back and go ahead and start trying to make money off.
That's a good point.
That's right. Okay. Well, this is a hard choice, but I got to chime in with you, OP. I would bring back Circuit City because they were the most cost effective in their day. When I needed a gadget, every now and again, I would always roll up on the Circuit City because they always had everything on extreme sale. And I'm talking good quality merchandise. I mean, let's go. RealRap.com. The first flat screen TV I ever purchased when they first came out, we thought we was doing something. I went down to the Circuit City and I purchased it. And check it out. That RCA flat screen is right downstairs in my den area. It's still working, y'all. It's still working, and I got that. Look, still for $248 at the Circuit City back in the day, and we thought we was doing something. Now I can get a 55-inch screen on that off-brand TV that they like to sell that break after a year. What's that one? I forget the name of it. Maybe I forget because it break after a year, and God is trying to stop me from slandering this company name and talk about these people.
That part, no, we're not writing no checks. We just getting them.
So yeah. We got
a PSA from Sister Angela. She just want to let OP know. I gotta say that rolls up in my spirit, as you know. Yeah.
I don't know. She challenging us to Uno. We might have to have a online Uno tournament or something.
Oh wow,
we got to draw 45,000 cards. Let's go.
Draw 4. Draw 4. Do y'all play Topsies? Y'all know what never mind. We got ghetto rules with our Uno. We don't care nothing about the rules that come in the Uno box cards. We make up our own rules.
There you go.
I have a person I work with who considers himself a Uno aficionado, and he says that card stacking, Topsies or whatever we call it, is not a legal Uno move, and you still gonna draw all of these 8 cards. So okay,
Topsies. Let's keep it going. But
shout out to the parents that's teaching their kids how to play Uno, because we gotta keep these games going and the card games and the family time and game night. Shout out to those who still support that, because it's a big deal. We learn how to do a lot of things over a game of Uno. Just saying.
Listen, thank you all for tuning in and participating in the comment section. This has been a whole lot of fun so far. So what we are going to do is take a break and get into some music. I'm going to toss the mic on over to Coach Cash, who's going to go ahead and introduce our music break. And we're going to come back. And our brother OP going to talk a little sports with us tonight. I don't know the name of his segment, but I asked him to enlighten us on some things. All right. But go ahead, Miss DJ Cash.
DJ Cash, that part. Here we go. All right, listen. Tonight, we definitely are celebrating across platforms because we got one of our artists coming in. His name is the artist name. His name. And the title for today's track is 777. Featuring Marcus Selders, and we are always excited to be able to share music over here. Make sure that y'all are listening. You know, I love my DJ Cash moment. So here we go as we get to be about it. All right, Red.
I watch you move. Just duck and stick and move and hit and win.
Shout out to the 30 Club. You know, feel like I'm grown now. 7. You know, it's nice. And my daughters make 7. My God is perfection. It's been 7 years. I made that Can't complain about anything, cause it ain't like my God has ever been slacking on blessings. I feel like for years God been testing me. Hard times been morals, humility, and patience, the recipe. They been sowing the seeds for the bread. That's what I said, so I guess they on sesame. Yeah, I got my ring back surrounded by kings, and I started dreaming. Now I'm achieving. Now I can see that everything I went through was for a reason. Now that I'm 30, feel like it's a perfect time to chase after what's not on the surface. But all to see me as a king, and I just can't see myself making decisions. I know that I hurt them. Yeah, following Christ was my greatest decision. Salvation is free, discipleship costs a penny, and that's how I'm living. 7 years ago, God showed me a vision. I'm up on the stage, young men at the altar, they crying, they hearts out, they being delivered. That's crazy, cause when I was 7, I was battling homicide and suicide all in the same instance, yeah. How precious are your thoughts to me. How wonderful you are to me. If you don't do anything else, you've done enough. Got 30 years in the back, here's 30 plus. My dad is the truth, my dad is a blessing. It's been a few years, made a connection. He told me he loved me, I'm big on affection. This time I believe him, I learned to respect him. My mama, she loved me, she says that I'm special. I know that she proud and I see it. She made me a leader, she always there when I need her. And on social media, she my biggest cheerleader. But that's love, it's been like 7 years since I picked up the drugs. My life is not perfect, but it's not what it was. And I got the light, so I don't need the buzz. And I had to fight, and I had to push, cause my life was tough. And whatever I couldn't let go, I drug, because it's a must that I made it no matter the mud, yeah. My daughter makes 7, my God is perfection. It's been a few years since I fought with depression. Now I put that name over anything that would likely come to try to deter my direction. It's more to serving Christ than asking for blessings, they already mine. So why am I stressing? Now I live my life every day as a lesson. At 7, I told God, wait, now I'm corrected. I thank God I'm chosen, He didn't just call for me. How pleasing are your thoughts towards me. If you don't do anything else, you've done enough. Yeah. 30 years, yeah. Plus, godson, I'm not that one, but I am one. But let me tell you about the answer. Came down, sacrificed himself for the ransom. Lucy had my soul in the bed, up a bed without a pot in the pan, all because I thought he had some. Jesus came back and left a phantom, so we couldn't go back to where we came from. I'm just giving you straight facts, no hang-ups. I would rather you give your life to Christ right now than wait for the easy way out. Find living water in the drought. Spent a few years in the well, all because of my doubt. I'm in His hands right now. I can see His plans like wow. Just lift your hands to the clouds. Promise if you give Him your life, you'll no longer be bound.
Well, there's so much I could say, but I have so little time to say it. 30 years. I have a 30-year-old child who defied the odds, despite your upbringing, despite the struggles. Could have been, should have been, would have been a statistic, but God.
Listen,
That was
I
a
like
whole bop
a whole one. I'm sitting here like
and a whole testimony.
a
Was that
whole
his mama at the end of that track, OP?
Yeah, that was his mom.
All right. I would love to hear the rest of that testimony, but that's a whole nother conversation for off air. So listen, y'all heard me tell y'all that OP is going to enlighten us with some things that are happening in the sports world. Do you have a title for your segment here, OP? I don't want to do you dirty.
The title is I Don't Know Sports.
That would be me. This is my segment. Talk to me, because there's some things going on in the what is it, the WNBA with these girls. Enlighten us. Take it away, OP.
Well, first off, got to give a shout out to the Boston Celtics. They're up 2-0 right now in the NBA
yes.
Finals against the Mavericks. So whoever's out there and having fun out there with the NBA Finals, I hope your team wins. Definitely. I kind of want to see the Celtics sweep the Mavericks, but that's just me. I just want to see that happen just to see if it can. But anyway, I digress. What I really wanted to pinpoint is the situation with the Caitlin Clark situation and her coming into the WNBA and all this hoopla and rah-rahs, things of that nature about who made what and things of that nature. Because if you look at it, Angel Reese is saying, well, if you really want to pay attention, I made Caitlin Clark from when she started doing the "You Can't See Me" in Caitlin Clark's face, that put more light and shine onto Caitlin Clark, which, okay, that might be half true. But the thing about it is, you didn't make her as a basketball player. Caitlin Clark was already a cold basketball player. You just brought attention to what she is capable of doing. And the thing is, and this is the twist right here, this is the twist. There's so much going on about the Caitlin Clark situation, and I'm listening to this and I'm following this, and I'm like, wow, but there is no racism in the world. Wow. But we supposedly in 2024 have propelled so much further. But look at the situation that's going on. Women's basketball has not gotten the numbers that they've gotten until Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese got into the WNBA. Yes, granted, there was a lot of female basketball players that were in there, like Cheryl Swoops and a lot of them in there that was making moves and really doing their thing. But it didn't really start transpiring and it really start turning over the numbers until Caitlin Clark came into the NBA. And you definitely see how many people are hating on the situation that's going on. But a lot of people are making money off of what's going on. Like they said, like a lot of people said, the numbers are the numbers. Whoever was playing against Caitlin Clark's team, their attendance went up dramatically. So who in the world would say that a NBA playoff game would get lower ratings than a WNBA game? Who would have ever thunk that? That's never happened. That's never happened. Ever. So until they came into the league and started really changing things, we need to embrace the situation and stop hating on the situation. One other thing that I do want to point out when I say, because of the racism and things of that nature and sexism for that matter, that's escalating within our sports, the Lakers are looking for a new head coach. Okay, they're looking for, there's a lot of guys out here. JJ Redick has never coached anybody, but he's played in the NBA for years. They're looking at him. They were looking at this one guy who was the head coach for Connecticut. I believe he just won the national championship. He turned them down. But the thing is that I want to pinpoint and that I want to highlight, and that nobody on the sports medias that are even talking about it whatsoever. What's up with a woman? Why can't y'all look for a woman coach to come in and coach the men's NBA team? Why not? There are a lot of women that are qualified to coach an NBA team, but that is not being addressed. That's not even being brought up whatsoever. So that's why I say, America, no, I don't know about sports, but I know about life. And right now, we're not getting it right, because why can't a woman coach the Lakers? Let's think about that before y'all worry about anything else. That sexism is still alive and it needs to be corrected, because there are a lot of women out here that can dust half of these men in coaching. Let's get that correct. Let's talk about that. I'm done.
Mic drop. Look, I'm just going.
Listen, I don't know nothing about basketball. I can say that. But yeah, you bring up an amazing point that we wonder the stats on the opportunity. I promise you, Birdie, Dawn was the first one in my mind. The first one that
she would take it. She would take the opportunity if the money was right.
But here's the deal. She would kill at it. Like, she would eat that like banana pudding. When we thinking about the limitations for opportunities, and I appreciate you saying that, OP, a lot of times it requires allyship just like this, these conversations, to say, how are we thinking about this when we're looking at who are the people we want to bring in, and why is sexism such at a high point that, you know, we could name names. If I ask the ones who do know something about sports, they would name names for people who have been hired who didn't bring nothing to the table. Didn't bring nothing. It's like, nah, why you bringing that brother over there? So I love it.
I mean, look how long it took for them to finally have a woman referee. I
That
mean,
part.
come on, dude. Come on, it's 2024. Let's get it together. We kicking and screaming about equality and all this other stuff that's going on, the LGBTQ and all this other stuff. But the thing is, we're still struggling with the gender equality, period,
Mhm.
man and woman. So let's get that part together before we try to fix anything else.
Love it. OP with the mic drop moments.
That's real talk. And I don't know sports, but I'm passionate now. Now you make me want to go in there and see what you're talking about.
That's it.
Mhm.
That's it. I love all of this. This was definitely a great, thank you for the explanation. Because a lot of people, you know, we might see one game, we might see one quote, and we like, well, where did that come from? We don't know what the history is to support that. And many folks mentioning, you know, the sliding from the different teams and from the national team, and what does that mean to people? It's about how do we open doors appropriately for opportunity. We know everybody can't go, but come on, y'all. Like, all
Yeah.
right. Dawn
There's
for the
and
two.
my only thing is have the discussion. I'm not even hearing the discussion being had about you would rather okay, there's nothing wrong with JJ Redick. I don't know JJ Redick other than he used to play in the NBA and he was a pretty good player. That's all I know about him. But my thing is you would rather pick somebody that's really not qualified because he's never coached. So you want to pluck him from a player and put him in a coaching position on a team that's very, sought after and looked at all the time in the Lakers, instead of saying, let's see if there's a qualified woman out here that we can bring aboard, bring on. And for the Lakers, that would be something like when they brought Magic Johnson. That would be something that people would expect from that team, especially since your owner now is a woman, Jenny Buss. So why aren't you having this conversation?
That's right. Why aren't they having that conversation? So look, y'all know I got to push the needle a little further down the road since you've opened the door for this conversation. This month is Men's Health Month. And I like to lump men's mental health in with that as well. We are also celebrating Juneteenth this month. And then also this month is acknowledged as Pride Month, right? Acknowledging the LGBTQ community over the entirety of this 30 days. I ran across some conversation that was going on my timeline in regards to Miss Maryland USA, a newly crowned Miss Maryland USA. And the headline, of course, let us know that the newly crowned Miss Maryland is a transgender woman. And yes, now I bring this into this conversation because you did bring out in your conversation that we are already struggling with two genders being, rightfully acknowledged, man and woman. And now, at the same time that this is going on in the WNBA, we see in the world of pageantry where some people are rightfully feeling some type of way because a woman who wasn't born that way is now crowned cream of the crop, as a transgender person. Now, we don't shy away from any community, or at least I don't at Casa de Hans Ford, because I love all kind of people. But I want to, see where y'all heads are with that, because not only has this happened in the world of pageantry, this has happened in very recent times in sports across the globe. We've seen conversations being had at the high school level as far as competing, transgender male and female, vice versa, in their respective sports lanes, and how some think that a transgender female would have an unfair advantage operating in a female world, if that makes any sense. Now, before I go any further, it is not my intention to offend anyone. I'm going to ask you now to charge it to my head and not my heart if I don't use the proper vernacular in addressing the community. Because check it out. I've always loved my rainbow tribe, because that's what I call them, my rainbow tribe. But I'm being thrown for a loop with some of the new terminology that's being introduced into the conversation. So that is not my intention, y'all, to offend. If you know me, boots on the ground, you know I love and embrace every single one of y'all, no matter how you were born and no matter how you were shown, you show up on my porch. My charge as a child of God is to just show you the love of Christ, and let my shine so you might find your way back to him in your heart, not necessarily in this, because this is temporal. It's gonna go away. I don't think God looking at that at all. I mean, to digress. What are some of y'all thoughts on how uh, the transgender community just really being active in sports is going to impact things moving forward? Because this could actually happen with the NBA as well as the WNBA if it's not happening already.
Well, I know there's a lot of different things that are going on at different levels when it comes to not just sports, but in general. And it's one of those things that I'm gonna say it for me. I often question the genuineness of these type of things. And I say it this way because we are on the other side of a lot of DEI conversations. So 4 or 5 years ago, those were the terms to use. We were excited about it. Fast forward, I think the somebody's got to be the first of all of the things. It is a media hype, in my opinion, winning over some other things. And so my challenge is just always, is this genuine? Are you doing this because this is the hot topic? And then will you drop them in 5 years and change your mind about that additional point of diversity? So my thing is, it's the cool thing is that the cool kids are doing right now versus you creating a sustainable structure. So we, think of Caitlyn Jenner being named Woman of the Year. I'm not going out for none of these titles. So I think that I don't take it personally. And it's like, oh, okay, that's what they're doing over there. And I do often think about the level of discrimination that we've seen, not just for gender, but also for racial disparities, that this just feels like that. Okay, now we're going to give y'all all the awards right now. They've done it with different races over the year. Now it is gender identity. That's the cool thing. So that's how I feel about it. I don't think I've offended anybody, but if I have, if you got the number, call me up. We'll talk about it. If you ain't got the number, don't worry about it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I threw up the peace sign for you, Karen. My bad. What's up, Opal?
I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm just gonna be short and sweet with it. I mean, my thing is that I agree with everything that Karen said about it. I agree with everything that Nikita said about it. But it's kind of funny to me that certain situations, certain people will start to do their transformation, and then all of a sudden now you think you can participate in this professional arena against people that body type wise and physical strength wise, you have an advantage over them. Like a man saying that, okay, I want to be I'm transgendered, not want to be, excuse me, anybody that's listening that you are, I understand the terminology. That they are transgender, and then all of a sudden now they want to go into, women's basketball, and they want to do a women's sport, or like the fashion thing, like her being labeled as, Miss America or whatever she was labeled. I think it's all a joke. I really do. I think it's all a joke. It shouldn't be, it shouldn't be allowed, because my thing is, now if you start allowing that, where is it gonna stop? And that goes for everything. Where does it stop? If you're allowing people, and I know people say it as a joke, but some people are out here saying, oh, well, since they're saying that they feel like they're a woman today, then okay, yeah, well, I feel like I'm a woman tomorrow, so I want to go and do this XYZ in order to get, benefits as a woman. And there was a situation in boxing that a transgender female transgendered to a male and went into boxing, and they were saying, it was a big mistake because they got knocked out within the first round. I mean, a lot of men get knocked out in the first round, but this person's like, physically, you looked at them, they weren't the same structure as the male counterpart. So some of this, they really have to think about it. Yeah, you may want to do that, but can you really compete in that? And is it fair to compete for a man to compete against a woman within, you within those lines? But that's just me. But I don't, no, I don't get it. I don't even go down that road with it. I I try to leave it alone altogether, for real. I mean, I'm gonna pray, like you said, Nikita. I'm gonna pray for you and keep it moving. But hey, is not my lane. It's not something that I even think about on a daily basis or anything, because the rainbow ain't pride for me. The rainbow is a promise, you know. So
I get it. I get it. And I've been privy to many, many conversations along this line. And after listening to the conversation on tonight's show, my thought is this going to create the opportunity for additional sport leagues to be created, so everyone will have a fair chance to participate on on a fair stage, if that makes any sense. You don't want to see a transgender woman jump into the swimming pool and outswim all the women who were born that way, simply because there's a little bit more strength in their stroke naturally. And same way, the example you used, a transgender male jumps in the boxing rings and gets knocked out, and I can imagine that was concussion style knockout, because the feminine body is not built to sustain certain blow. All right. Another reason why our men are encouraged not to lay their hands on women, because we're naturally known as the weaker sex, physically, not necessarily mentally all the time. Okay. We are naturally known as the weaker sex. So this has been an awesome conversation, and hopefully it starts a dialogue amongst the group of our listeners, so people can take a real life perspective, and actually start having these conversations with their children and their grandchildren. Because here's the deal: the laws are changing, and many of the rules are changing. And this is becoming a part of the new normal we heard so very much about while we were still stuck inside the house before they gave us free, after the pandemic emergency. And not for nothing, this world always gives you clues and evidence of things to come. about 6 years ago, we had Momo popping up on YouTube, and we had a conversation about Momo. And I recall my thoughts about Momo back then. I was like, I got a feeling like they trying to get us used to seeing things that we're not used to seeing in presenting Momo, because nobody ever knew what Momo was. We knew that Momo was a little bit creepy, and we knew that Momo wasn't the best thing to be shown on our children's timelines, and on their YouTube screens, when, certain parents let the electronic devices babysit their children. We were being prepped then for some of the things that we're seeing now. So I would just give this advice. Above all else, love, the first and greatest commandment. That's our charge. Not to judge, but to love. And we already know that the scriptures taught us that love covers a multitude. All right. Love covers a multitude. All right. So listen, y'all are tuned in to Unhinged Live. I'm your host, Nikita Tilted Halo Hansford, sitting alongside my very, very good girlfriend, Karen Sims Harrell of Twisted Threads LLC. And of course, we got our featured guest on tonight, our brother Orlando Page. Let's talk gospel, CH8 Jams, Mental Impact, Entertainment, and Television Family. That's right. We're putting it out there in the atmosphere of a sign of things to come. We about to go there, y'all. But I'm looking at the time, and we try and be as timely as possible here on the platform. So get ready. If y'all want to get y'all life together, stick around.
Come on.
Because we're about to receive yet another hefty dose of wisdom and encouragement, and with a little bit of love and laughter, given to us by our very own in-house certified master life coach, Coach Cash herself. Reflections of Purpose. Take it away, sis.
All right, listen, we're going with a little bit of a flashback today because as we talked earlier, and I always come with a title, and today's title, we're reminding you, learning how to control your own mind, literally. So when we think about all of the different things, and I'm going to say this, learning how to quiet your mind, because we got a lot of noise coming from different places. There's so many things that people are requiring from us. Summertime, I don't know if I want to say this is our first official summer that we outside. I felt like last year was our first year out, but it was a trial run because some of y'all ain't know what y'all was doing. But now as we are moving forward in this year, many of us are taking the time to take more vacations, do more travel, slow down maybe our everyday agenda. But what are we filling it up with? So I want to remind you to take those moments to quiet your mind, because you'll remember all of the things and learn nothing. You'll experience all of the things and not be able to retain anything. But when you take the moment to figure out, how do you quiet your mind? Well, step one, you usually got to slow it down. So if you're always a person who listens to music, think about listening to lower tempo music, and then change that music over to maybe a podcast or an audiobook, and then change that over to maybe you can do some things to silence all of the noise that's coming around us. And a lot of that is important for us because that's when those downloads happen. That's when we figure out, how do we go from A to Z? How do we go from A to B? What are the things that are required? And then you have the opportunity to take a moment, write it down for the vision that's given to you. Go ahead on over there and check out our sister Angela and get one of those journals so that you can start spilling that information out to open those moments of creativity. I know myself and Tilted, we talk all of the time, and I told her about a song that I wrote last year, and I can't believe that I didn't even share it with her. But it's one of those things that it's like in different times, we got to shut things down so that new things can be poured in. And so we want to remind you, quiet your mind, because where we're going, the swift shift, we always say, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Start these practices now, put them in place, and watch what will be birthed right in your life today, that you will be able to the benefit of for years and years to come. Learning how to quiet our minds. This is going to look different for each and every one of us, but you figure out the time, take the steps, and watch it work for you. This is your Reflections of Purpose with Coach Cash. We love you above all else. Make sure you know God loves you more. Till then, kicking it back.
Thank
Hey,
you
real
so
quick,
much.
real quick. I just gotta ask you, Coach Cash, do you have any of these reflections on YouTube or
Oh,
anywhere?
if you
Oh,
go ahead on over to Twisted Threads LLC, you'll see a plethora. I think our total is about 200 videos over there that all of these reflections of purpose. We've got, I promise, a whole series, and stay
what
tuned for
about
some
on
summertime.
podcast?
Say
On
that
other
again.
what about on other podcast platforms?
We getting there, Mr. TV man.
Come on now, come on now, because I could be listening to you instead of Mel Robbins.
Yes, all of the things. And so we're working on those projects because guess what? You can work once and keep it going because the messages are still relevant. They're still current. They still will take you right to the places that you need to be. And so when I say all of this, quiet your mind, get the downloads. The reminders are coming while I'm walking. Work is happening. So stay tuned for that. You're going to be able to see a lot more of the repackaging for it to be there because we got videos, we got audio, we got all of those things there. And the goal is for us to get that out to the masses even more. So y'all stay tuned for that. Appreciate you, OP, for that plug.
That's right. And if you see it on the screen, I put that up there. You see what y'all looking at right there? Go on over to the YouTube Nation. If you've enjoyed what our sister has been sharing here on the platform, y'all know there's a purpose to it all. Go on over there, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can be notified whenever Coach Cash goes live. Because one thing she has been doing lately is she has been going live and posting it over there on YouTube. I don't know if any of you all in the Facebook Nation have recognized that things are changing yet again on Facebook. Even on tonight, we were limited in some of the places we could actually place as a destination for our stream. Now, check it out. We've been streaming to 8 different places every single time we've gone live. But tonight, we've been limited to 2 spaces on Facebook. But we can post any and everything we want to do on YouTube. So please, ma'am, please, sir, head on over to YouTube, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for Twisted Threads, for Unhinged Live, for Mental Impact Radio, for CHH Jam. Because at the end of the day, I got to quote my brother OP out of one of his recent posts on Facebook when he was encouraging all of the indie artists in his reach to not rely solely on Facebook for the belly of their success. The algorithm is changing. Artificial intelligence is pushing things in a direction that it thinks it needs to go. And as you already know, we over here at Unhinged, now coupled with our Mental Impact Entertainment family, we are building our own avenue for syndication. So people can know what it looks like and feel like to truly control and master your own content. All right? Go ahead, like, subscribe, share. Tell somebody about the good work you hear us doing here at Unhinged, about the good work you hear the brother doing on Let's Talk Gospel. CHH Jam sessions happen every Friday night at 9 p.m., where indie artists have the opportunity to submit their music, to submit their videos for real-time critique and airplay. We ain't playing no games out here because guess what? We are absolutely living our best life and living out the purpose, doing what God called us to do. I want to go ahead and shout out our sister Gina Livewire. I see you out there, sis. I see you. Thank you for joining us. And I appreciate you sharing. I see your fingers doing the work. I appreciate you, girl. But check it out. I think the show is just about over. I think the show is just about over. And this thing flowed like water. To quote the great prophetess Jackson, funny how time flies when you're having fun.
Hey.
When you're having fun.
Mm.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm hoping that somebody blessed me with some tickets to go see Janet Jackson again, putting it in the atmosphere. But tonight, I want to do things a little bit different. I'm going to just tell you to just be who you are. Be your authentic self. Because I promise you, the world is waiting simply for you to just be. We show up as yourself, not the imposter. Because I promise you, the wrong level of heat and the right level of rain will wash all of that away. And we'll truly see who you are. So just show up as yourself, flawed and all. And I promise you, your tribe will find its way to you. Ask me how I know. Just be. OP, you got any final words for our listeners on tonight?
Yeah, final words is from a podcast that I've been listening to for a while. Miss Mel Robbins, when I'm out there and have a chance to get out and walk and really reflect on things, take that first step. Regardless of whatever it is and whatever God has placed on your heart and your mind to do, you you have to take that first step. You have to step out on faith in order for it to happen. Faith without what is dead. Faith without works is dead. It didn't say faith without sitting on your butt. It didn't say faith without laying in the bed. It didn't say faith without crying and moaning and complaining. It didn't say faith without, pouring your problems out into somebody else and hopefully that person would make it move. No, faith without your works. Faith without works is dead. So take that first step. Stop being scared. If you say, we got a lot of people on Facebook and Instagram and on X that love to say, God is my portion. God is my deliverer. And then all of a sudden, in the next post, because I'm talking to myself, y'all. So don't feel bad like I'm pointing to you. I'm talking to myself. You're just eavesdropping. Stop being nosy. But anyway, like I said, God is my portion. God is my deliverer. And then all of a sudden, 5 messages later, I hate my life. I can't stand this. I can't make this happen. Oh, why is this happening to me now? Come on, man. Just take that first step and believe and trust in God that He's gonna get you out of whatever you're into right now. Have that faith. Move, move, move. All right.
I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. Move it, move
Move
it.
it.
All right, King Julian, I see you over there. But check it out. As you were saying, it just came to my mind. Your faith works if you work it. All right. So check it out. We are unhinged. And guess what? It's a wrap. Catch y'all next week.
Peace, peace, peace.
We out.